What's up, guys? Welcome to the channel. Welcome back to another tier list. So this is a sequel to the last list I did, which was music from Persona 3 FES. And this one is obviously Persona 4 Golden. I mean, if the yellow didn't give it away, it is Persona 4 Golden. Now, once again, I am joined by Mr. KMK, and if you want to know the rules for this list, just go to the Persona 3 list, which I will link in the description. Now, I know some of you may be sad that, your favorite song is on here, but look, if I put every single song from the soundtrack on here, we'd be here for like 3 hours, and that's just like that's too much. All right, so I had to cut some. But that's also why this is slightly longer than the last one. This one has two extra songs. I wanted to put all the songs that were both important and you heard a lot. So some of the ones that were only heard for like certain events, I didn't keep. But other than that, get your snacks and strap in. It's gonna be a long one. So first off, we have Pursuing My True Self, which is the vanilla Persona 4 opening theme.
We are living our lives.
Alright, so the original intro. I think it's not bad. I do like how I like the remix version of it that they had in Persona 4 Dancing. But just the original version, I think it's okay. I do think Shadow World, which is the golden intro, is much better. But what do you think of it?
Um, yeah, it gave me a lot of the vibes of Jet Set Radio because that's the kind of game that the music is kind of giving me. It's very much of a like it's like this pop like an 80s pop type of vibe that I'm getting. And again, Jet Set Radio is set in Tokyo where it has like these the artist who they went to go and do the music for. He's a producer and DJ. So of course he makes music that pretty much sounds like this. So it gave me a lot of those vibes. Um it's not bad. It's not a bad, especially for a intros. It's kind of a bop, I would have to say.
Yeah, I
Uh,
mean it's pretty laid back and chill. It's not some high intensity thing. Because I
yeah.
will say, of 3, 4, and 5, people like to say 4 is like the most like um goofy, chill one of them all. It's the least serious one, which I see it. I don't completely agree, but I get it. So it fits the sort of feeling of the game. So I think kind of bops a fair point. All right, next up we have Glimpse of a Memory, which is the title screen music. So yeah.
Oh, that was short.
Yeah, I mean, it is the tile screen. You're not really meant to be on the tile screen for a long time, you know?
Yeah,
And
that's
another
fair.
thing with yellow being the color, I just realized this now. Like yellow is cheerful, lighthearted. Blue sort of dark, depressing, which kind of what 3 is, and red's kind of like more amped up, energetic. But I don't know. For a title screen, I it's okay. It's definitely not something I listen to constantly, but considering you only listen to it for a few seconds every time you boot up the game, it's not bad. Though I'd probably put it not a bop, maybe. How about you?
Yeah, it's not a bop only because it is a score. Which a lot of people, it's like in the first one. If you guys go and watch the first one, I kind of explained a little bit of what the difference between a score and an actual soundtrack song is. Score is more for like orchestral pieces, and then the soundtrack is like songs from like um Lil Uzi Vert or something. It's an actual song that is created. Um, but yeah, I mean, it's not a bad song for a score. It's pretty uplifting. It has some pretty cool high hyper chords in a high section to give it that lively aspect. It's still a little bit like sad, but it's like in a way, it's almost like it's looking forward to like moving forward in the game. You know, like I don't know how to like explain it, but that's how I think about
All
it.
right. So our next song is "Signs of Love," and this is one of my favorite tracks on the entire game. This one only plays when you're at the Dojima residence. So it's basically Dojima is like your you stay with him while you're in Inaba, which is the name of the town. And this plays every time you're inside the building, outside of a few special occasions. But it's so good. Okay, so this song for me is like absolute bop personally. And
Yeah.
also in what is it? Persona 4 Dancing, I'm gonna reference this a lot. The remix for Sounds of Love Persona 4 Dancing is like if there's a tier above. It's I don't know, and like a lot of the time when I'm like and you may think, oh, you're not gonna hear it that often. Considering every day practically you start out in the house, you're gonna hear this a lot, but it starts out so good. Like that first like 10 seconds is such a good start to a song. That's like I don't really get tired of it, and even after playing like 80 hours of the game, I still don't get tired of the song. It's so good. What about you?
It is. So the thing is that like the actual song itself, without the lyrics, the instrumental, is very repetitive. However, that's a good thing because it's not too complex. There's not too many elements going on. Like the only things that they have going on are the drums and like the horns, like the trumpets and stuff like that. But they don't overuse them. You know. Um, so that's what it has a really good balance of everything, including the vocals, and it just keeps you kind of bobbing your head while you're just like walking through wherever you're going. It's a really good song. So yeah, it's a definite top.
Yeah. So next up we have Your Affection. Now in Inaba, depending on the weather, it changes the theme. I'm pretty sure Persona 5 is the same way with depend on the weather. So Your Affection plays during when it's like sunny, and this is another one of my favorite tracks. So here we go. So yeah, considering you're gonna hear this most of the time when you're in the overworld, walk around town and stuff, and like it's just so upbeat, like it's hard to feel down or feel like meh when you're listening to this. It kind of just gets you in the mood to just play, and it is also probably part of the reason why a lot of people think this is the most like laid back and happy-go-lucky game of them all, just because the soundtrack a lot of it is kind of like this. But like I don't know, I really like it. Is it absolute bop for me though? It's high bop, somewhere in the absolute bop tier for me. How about you? It's good. It's good.
I like it. It
Yeah.
is it is engaging. And one of the things that is like really hard for soundtracks nowadays is engaging. Um, and with this one, yeah, it like even with like the song like the not a bop one, it's still engaging enough where it's like, yeah, I mean, it keeps me moving forward. Where there are like songs in most games where I'm like, this is dog aids. I don't want to listen to this anymore. But no, like so far, all the songs have either been bops or absolute bops. So yeah, I would put it in the bop category until
Uh,
we
okay.
listen to more.
All right, I think that's fair. Um, okay, so Bob, I think that's pretty fair so far. Pretty even, pretty even. Next up, we have like a dream country. Now, this song plays during social link events, and we had a song just like this in Persona 3. So, whenever you hang out with a social link or in 5 a confidant, this is what's gonna play most of the time. There's a few other ones that we may get to that play for other situations, but from this is the main social link. Okay, so honestly, so one thing I forgot to mention is the theme of the last game was death, and how you can't escape, you can't avoid. This one's truth, and one of the main things is reach out to the truth. So it's like moving forward, searching for the truth, that's kind of thing. That's why all of these have like sort of that moving forward vibe that you mentioned. But for this song, it kind of like considering you're really just this is a hangout song, like hanging out with your buddies. This
Oh
really
yeah,
does
it's
kind of
very.
fit that. It fits it.
Oh yeah, yeah, because like the last ones were like really they were good, but they were like really fucking depressing. Only because because that's I'm guessing that's what the game was like in terms of the story and stuff.
It
Is
had
that
some dark
it was
moments for
very
sure.
depressing. It is, yeah, it's very a lot of them sounded depressing, low tempoed. But with this, it's like almost all the songs that we've heard so far are upbeat, lively, very bright. Um, Instead of very cold sounds, like the
Yeah.
horns are very they're the horns are harsh, they're very in your face, and that's good if you want to keep people happy and want them to move forward in your game.
This
It's
is
awesome.
very
I love
night
it.
and day in terms of a
Yeah.
soundtrack.
But
Now
yeah,
for this one, for me, I'm thinking kind of a bop.
yeah.
You think about
It's
too?
not a bop necessarily, but yeah, kind of bop. We could put in a kind of bop because it does have all the good elements of it, of the horns, and then there's very simple drum patterns. But again, like I said, it's not a bad thing. Just the
Yeah. So next up we have Who's There. Now this plays when the shadows pop up during shadow events. I mentioned before that uh, I mentioned off screen how the main enemies or main bosses are the shadows, the people that are thrown into the TV. So this is kind of what plays when they're around. Oh no, it's not. Silly me. No, it's not. This is a different thing. This just plays for like dark events. Okay, so I misunderstood which song this was. This is the one that plays normally like when they're talking about the case and some big like dark thing happens, like, oh no, this is what's happening, this kind of thing. And also just
Mhm.
during like very tense scenes. So the joke is like, oh, here comes the piano, because you hear this a lot. Like that opening piano, like I don't want to call it a riff. That opening piano bit, like I have that ingrained into my mind because I've heard it so many times because it plays just that much. But no, it's pretty good. Like for it to be the sort of like the one of the darker themes for a good reason. I think the piano works because it's like when the piano hits, you're like, oh, this is time to pay attention. Something serious is happening. I
Yeah.
don't think it's bad at all. I'd put it. Is it bop tier? I don't think it's bop tier. It's like high kind of bop for me personally. How about you?
Um. So it is. It is just mostly. It almost feels like it's mostly just a score. I would probably put it into yeah. I would put it into not a bop. Only. It's still a good track. It's just not like one of those tracks where it's like when that song comes on, drop your controller and start just like dance. That's the type of. But yeah, it's a good one to get you into this mindset, to the into the mood.
For
Um,
sure.
so yeah,
All right. So next up we have Smile. This one is for, if you couldn't guess, happy events. So yeah, this game really likes its pianos, but for a happy theme, 'cause, again, this only really plays during the happy moments. I mean, I enjoy it as just like a really chill thing, and to me, it doesn't get too repetitive because usually
no,
they're
okay, so like
okay.
it, it is so awesome. I actually I really like this song because it's like
Oh,
everything that like I like in a song. It has like all the right elements. Um, the pianos don't seem too like overbearing. It's not like you can't really hear any of the others going on. There's actually I think it's on the one or I think it's on the one of every beat. Um, there or the rhythm is that there's a vinyl crack playing, and it's just like a quick vinyl crack, and it's like so cool because like it's just one of those sounds where you're like, oh, this is vinyl cracks typically give a sense of that give a sense of like something old, something that we're used to. I'm pretty sure if you play a vinyl crack for your great grandparents, they're gonna be like, "Wow, that's it brings a image of old time for them."
and considering
Um,
it's in such a small, like backwoods town, it kind of fits almost.
yeah, like it's subtle. I was like, because when I was listening to it, I was like, wait, I'm hearing something, and it's the vinyl cracking, and it's not too loud, and it's not too quiet where you can't really hear it, but your brain will pick it up immediately, and it's such a cool element to have. Um, where it would be in the tier list,
I'm thinking Bob.
probably we could probably put it into higher kind of a bop.
I kind of Bob. Okay, I can get
Yeah.
down with that. I'm down with that.
Because
Oh,
again, we still have dozens of songs
yeah,
to go through.
we have quite a number. Quite a number. Now, next up, we have Backside of the TV. Now, this one I like. So this one plays like when you're in the TV world, the Midnight Channel. It plays in the hub area and the entrance to all the dungeons. And when I first heard this, I just sat there for like 5 minutes grooving to it. 'Cause I thought it just sounded so cool to me, just the way it starts. So here we go. Okay, so look, this is like one of the few songs in all the games that makes me actually stomp my feet in time with the song. That's how I like tap my feet. I'm talking stomp my feet. This song gets me into the game, especially because it's right before you enter a dungeon. It just gets me freaking pumped. Like, I'm bobbing my head, I'm moving. I don't usually move to music. This has got me bopping. To me, it's absolute bop. How about you?
Absolute Bob.
It's very close, if not.
So yeah,
Right.
it almost gave me the vibe of the song by Queen. You know the song, that fucking stadium song.
Yeah. We will rock
Like
it.
it's such a very catchy drum pattern that there's so much elements that you can add on to it that it's like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. Um, and of course they also add a little bit of like, I don't know, I think it's like some type of air horn to kind of go with the kick drum pattern to make it much more aggressive.
It just felt really synthetic to me. Like, it was so techno
Yeah, it
compared to
sounds
all
really
their
cool.
songs
I
we've
would
heard
probably,
so
yeah, I
far.
would probably put it into absolute bot now that I think about it.
All right. I just love that track. Next up we have Deduction. Now, Deduction is pretty much for investigation team events. Usually when they're like really talking about the case, this typically plays. Okay, look. This song immediately makes me think of like a black and white era detective. And it fits
Yeah,
because this
but
is when you're thinking about the case. And I love the horns when they come in. Because it starts out really like, oh, this is it. And like 10 seconds in, it just ramps up. And then like a little later, the horns come in. It just sounds so good.
yeah, it has like a LA noir type of
Yeah, exactly.
of feel to it. But like as soon as the horns start and pretty much all these songs, you can tell that stuff is about to get really real.
About to
But
get
with
saucy.
this, it's upbeat because all the songs are going to be upbeat. I'm guessing.
For the most
But
part,
it's
off the top of my head.
upbeat, but it's still like okay, let's be focused. It's not because there's
Yeah.
not too much stuff going on where it's like, oh, um, my brain is only focusing on this element. Like you're listening to the song, but you're also being focused with the song to do the task that you do. I would probably put it into a bop
I agree.
because all of the elements are they just match well, so well with.
I agree. The fact it puts me in that mindset almost immediately just works for me. Now, next up we have Castle. Now this is the theme of the first dungeon, and I'm gonna be real with you. I think this is one of the weakest tracks on the entire game. Like, it just, to me, it doesn't fit, and we'll get to that. So basically, the sort of thematic, I guess you go with, of the first dungeon. They call them palaces in Persona 5, that's why I call them palaces. But anyway, the first dungeon is like the character in the dungeon, she feels trapped, like a bird in a cage. And she's looking for like her prince, quote unquote, to free her from this castle, right? So it's a very trapped. Now, mind you, this is a castle. Now just listen to this. Play. Okay, now here's the thing. I don't think it's a bad song. My issue with it is it doesn't fit at all. It doesn't fit the castle aesthetic. It doesn't really fit the theme. Now, the slow part, I can kind of get the sad longing vibe, but then it just cuts to just freaking high intensity rock almost. Not really rock. It's like yeah, it's like it feels like they took two songs and just spliced them together, and to me it doesn't work. It doesn't fit the theme they're going for. And
Yeah,
also, it does
there
get a
is.
little repetitive personally. So for me, it's definitely not a bop. How about you?
Oh, it's definitely not a bop. I mean, oof.
I can concede
Let me
not a
let me
bop at least.
let me be impartial.
Yeah.
So the theme of the song is there, but the practice of which they're actually like doing it is just not melding well together. Now, if it was just like the piano melody part and like maybe the low bass part, I could see them adding
Yes.
it, just those elements and like maybe some soft drums to go with that because it is a princess in a castle, correct? She's stuck in this castle.
Yes. Figuratively, yes.
So like yeah, it should be a song about like her being very lonely and feeling kind of isolated and but yet she's still kind of hopeful to kind of get out of here. And that's what that second part was, but the first part was absolutely
It doesn't
unnecessary.
match.
Yeah, it was just totally unnecessary to add that. I would probably put it into not a bop.
All
Probably
right.
not a definitely not a bop, but not a bop. Only
Fair
because
enough.
it doesn't.
Yeah. I think it gets a high F. It got 50%. Half of it was on point. The other half was like it doesn't match. All right. Next up, we have Border and Plus a Million. If you play through the whole dungeon with this theme, like, it starts with that high intensity part. Every time you come out of battle, it restarts the song. I don't know if you knew that. So like that's why I kind of hold dungeon themes to a higher degree, because like you have to be able to listen to these constantly because they start over constantly. Um,
Uh,
yeah. So now we have Border of Insanity. It is for story events. Not all, but some.
So what was the thing? What was the theme behind this again? The song.
So it's kind of just for serious events, basically.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's very. It's
Yeah.
so it has this part in where it has that build up and it comes to a crescendo into a head, and then it goes
Mhm.
right back down, just very calm and but like, and it's weird because like the key in it is like very hyper. I'm not sure what key exactly it is, but it's in one of the higher scales, higher part of the scales, which makes it a much happier and lighthearted song. But it's like super. It's very like oxymoronic because like for a serious song, you would think it would be like lower on a lower scale, like a like going into like G, F, D, and stuff like
Yeah.
that. But it's so oxymoronic when you hear it because it's still like upbeat, like it's so like off-putting, but yet it fits so well. I
Yeah.
would probably put into a bop.
Yeah, and so here's my thing. It's called Border of Insanity, and that the title fits the song flawlessly. Cause like you said, it's oxymoronic, but that's exactly what it's trying to be, and it works so well. Um, to me, it's an okay song. I like how it starts to build and it just gets really like intense out of nowhere, and then it goes back to chill. Because again, this is for more serious events. Because it's kind of like it's like when you're slowly realizing something and it just hits you, and then you have like you have the rise and falling of that whole emotion. You know?
Yeah.
Uh,
So one of the songs that I sent you is off of my newer LP, Singularity. And the song I specifically sent you, it has like two different ideas into it that makes it, well, unique. I spent a lot of time trying to put these two elements together to make something like it has like this very soft, um, like soft pop rock or punk rock, but it's like a very melodic punk rock type of feel to it. But then it goes straight into just the heaviest stuff that you've heard. But like that's the cool part about it is that the duality of these songs are so amazing. But
it's
yeah,
what
it
Castle
really,
should be.
yeah. Oh no, yeah, it's a bop, most definitely.
All
It's
right.
very, I liked it. So far these songs have been good.
Yeah. So now we have I'll Face Myself Battle. This plays during most boss battles, most. Or at least some. Yeah, they bust the drums out for this one.
But the drums are a lot more acoustic. Like,
Yeah.
oh, that's an absolute bop.
Oh, yes, it is. Oh,
Oh my god.
it's such a good song. And this is for boss battles. Oops. Paused it by mistake. Yeah, no, like it starts off good. You know, this is a fight, get ready, it hypes you up a little bit, then it just builds and builds and builds, and it just keeps on building. And it's like,
So
man, for a fight, oh.
one of the cool parts that I really liked is that it went from like being just like a normal like rock, like a slower rock song. It's still
Yeah.
pretty, it has a really like gritty sound to it, and then it picks up like the drum patterns and the guitars pick up, and then it goes into like this sort of Megadeth or like this sort of Metallica breakdown with just the guitar just kind of playing, and it just felt so right to have it.
Yeah.
Like all the elements just, and the drums went from like just being like, instead of being like a synthetic drums from like, that you do on like a drum pad, it went to this acoustic drums like somebody was in a studio and played it, which is a totally different bipolar, not bipolar, but polar opposite of like what we've been listening to so far.
Yeah.
Um, the guitars just screams like it feels like it was like Metallica had a deal with it. Like it just felt so great to hear it. Um,
I almost
overall,
sounded
the
like there's a
song,
little bit of backside of the TV at the very start. It felt like there's a tiny bit of that one.
like yeah, I mean like the thing about them is like from what I've noticed is that the people who did the music direction for Persona, they love, and I mean they love to use other elements of a song,
Mm-hmm.
of like a piano melody of a song, and then just completely like make it into an entirely different thing.
Yeah, they love doing
This one
callbacks.
is an absolute bop, is what I'm trying to get at.
Oh yeah.
It's awesome.
You're on behalf because the next one we have is I'll Face Myself. This isn't the battle version. Now the wiki says this is for events. It doesn't specify which one, but I know a specific event this one's in. I don't remember the other ones though. This one I think you're gonna like too. So, okay. What I like about this references Glimpse of a Memory, which is the title screen music. And also, what is it? Which one was it? Oh, crap. Oh no. Like a Dream Come True, the one they have for social event. It feels like after the initial piano melody, it transitions to like a mixture of those two songs almost, and it works. It's almost like Glimpse of a Memory, but completed. But
Okay, so
oh yeah.
the piano melody, because like I've heard that type of chord progression before. Can't remember what the hell the song is, and I've heard it before from somewhere. It's another song. I just can't remember where it is, and it's such like a, and it goes from like a 90s R&B song, which for me is personal because a lot of the music that I grew up listening to, especially from my parents, was mostly R&B, old school rap, mostly R&B. So it was a oh man, it was such a beautiful contrast of the beautiful, happy, scenic um atmosphere that they set in, and then it adds like these R&B vibes to it, and it's such a cool, it shouldn't work, but it does, and that's what like makes it such a good track to listen
It's like they made my I'll Face Myself battle, but they just switched the like they changed the it's like they just changed the tone of it. Like different instruments and different what's the word for like the speed of a song?
to. Oh, beats per minute.
Yes, it's like they
Or the
lowered the
tempo.
BPM. Yeah, like they lowered the tempo of the song and then changed the instruments, and it just works so well. I'm thinking definitely not a bot personally. Uh,
Huh, that's interesting.
no, I'm
I mean,
kidding.
it is more of a score type of a song. So
I'm thinking
I
this
can
area.
understand that.
I was joking
You could,
about
yeah,
definitely not a
you could
bot.
put it into not a bop. It would probably be mid tier bop, like in the like right after the first not a bop song. Um,
You're thinking it's down here?
but wait, did you say that it was a bop?
I said definitely not a bop as a joke, and you thought I was serious. No, no, for me it's up
Oh,
here. It's top. It's in the top two
okay.
tiers somewhere.
Yeah, probably into a bop.
All right, I can agree with that. I can agree with that.
Low tier, yeah, let's get low tier because we will probably be adding tons of songs. So far, our song there hasn't really been any songs in the definitely not a bop category, which is a
Uh, this next one probably will be. It's called Sauna. So basically, the second dungeon is a steamy bathhouse. Okay. Now, the character in this one is kind of like this person's hiding the side of themselves that they think people will be afraid to see, or not afraid of, but would judge him for seeing. Because he seems like your generic punk like man dude, but he has girly hobbies, But he hides that and acts all tough and stuff. So it's a very it's a very sharp contrast between the two halves of him basically. But
yeah.
so keep that somewhere in the back of your mind as you listen to this mess.
Oh, what the hell? I
Yeah,
actually like this part. Why did they have to ruin it with the acoustic drum?
you didn't like the acoustic drum part?
I only like this just a simple 4/4, not the 4/4. It's a type, I think, no. What the hell is it called? It's just a simple kick pattern. Just a driving kick, and
Yeah.
with the hi-hat in the on the 2. Oh no, it's on the 1. Yes, it's on the and part of the pattern. But yeah, like I actually like that. Maybe if they would have added maybe like a snare every once in a while, but like a synthetic snare. Like
Yeah.
I don't like the contrast of it is such a bizarre thing because it just the drums kick in and it's a very disorienting. Like it just doesn't fit at all.
Yeah, I promise you the
That's
dungeon
just
themes get better as we go. But like with this one, I did like for one again as someone who's played the game, it doesn't fit the like again the aesthetics of freaking bathhouse and then, again the personality of the character. It just I don't see how it fits. And another thing, like as I mentioned before, this is a dungeon theme. Every time you get into a battle, it stops the song, and when you come out of the battle, then this song's gonna start all over again. So you hear the beginning like 20-30 seconds of it over and over and over for like an hour and a half. And it's like it's too repetitive at the beginning half of it. And I do agree it gets a little better to me I think it just gets better as it goes on. But you only hear the beginning portion just for the most part.
It's
And
the intro is so cool too. Like it just the way
Yeah.
that it starts is so interesting, and yet it goes into a completely different direction. Like it's definitely not a bop, only because they ruin it by just not like by like doing the most insipid move that you can do. I have this problem too as a producer. For those of you who are watching Shadow, is that I make music, and one of the hardest things is that you don't want to overwhelm your audience members with too much noise, too much stuff going on. And this stuff has way too much stuff going on.
Yeah.
And it's jarring. The drums don't match with what the vibe is going for. Like the vibe is very much like discotheque. Like it gets you into the mood of just kind of vibing, and then it just goes into this like the transitions aren't good from it. Like I wouldn't be mad if the transitions weren't just so completely awful. Going from the discotheque type drums to the acoustic stuff, like it's just so jarring. So yeah, that's my take on it.
Yeah, if I were to look at it as not being from the game and just as a regular thing, I'd probably put it somewhere around kind of a bop to not a bop. But like it just does not fit the aesthetic theme or anything at all for me. And look, if someone watching this is like, "Oh, you just don't understand," tell me why, because I don't get it. I don't get why it goes where it
people
goes.
actually like this song.
I don't know if people like this song. I don't know. I don't look into that stuff. I don't know if people. I have no idea if people actually like the song. I'm just saying if there is someone that does like the song or just likes the meaning, then I'm like, explain to me the meaning because I don't get the meaning.
Yeah, here's the thing. I've been making music for about 2.5
Okay.
years. It'll be about 3. That's actually a little bit over 2 years. It'll probably be 3. It'll be 3 years in like August. But holy hell, like even somebody like me who has very limited experience and limited I guess expertise in music can tell that this song is just not what it's not it, Chief.
Yeah.
It's just not it.
I did marching band for a year, and I know this is something sus about this. Something
Like-
sus. All right. We need to move on though. We got like another half of the list to get through. Now we have Awakening. It's for some story events. Sad story events. Some sad. I don't know. That took a turn. So, okay, it's been a few months since I played the game, so forgive me, but I'm pretty sure this plays for the most part after, because see, when someone confronts their shadow, that's how they get their persona. So, like, this plays after when they're in the process of confronting their shadow, I'm pretty sure. So, like, but you know, like, I like how it starts like sad, and then it becomes hopeful, and it just builds to like the high energy bit at the end.
Yeah, the crescendo. So that part where it like build up is called a crescendo, where it's building and building and building, and then it just sometimes like with that pause, it just stops, and then it goes right into the actual what the actual song is. I liked that a lot. Yeah, because it was like the song starts out being yeah, very sad, and then it just builds up and it swells up, and it's like, uh-oh, is something bad gonna happen? And then it kicks into like this it almost gave me the vibe of like Tool, if you've ever heard of them.
No.
That type of band. Just it was actually pretty good. I actually like that. Where it would fall into the line of,
I think it's around bop, kind of a bop territory.
yeah, let's put it in mid tier, kind of above.
Okay. There's an. I feel like someone somewhere can argue absolute bop for this, but I can't put. I think at best it's in the bop category at best, but we'll put kind of bop for now. All right, now we got one of my favorite tracks. Reach Out to the Truth. Now, in Persona 4 Vanilla, this is just the regular battle theme. In Persona 4 Golden, there's a different battle theme, but if you sneak up on an enemy, because see, you can sneak up on enemies, you sneak up on an enemy. This track plays in Golden only when you sneak up on an enemy. It plays a few other times for specific battles, but for the most part, this only happens in Golden when you sneak up on enemies, which is harder than you would think. I'll actually say 4, off topic as hell, but 4 Golden I think has the worst dungeon crawling mechanics of 3, 4, and 5 in my opinion. But anyway, but to this one.
Now I face up, I hold up, I reach out to the truth. All around, seeking to see all the whole moment. Yes, yeah, make you the true life. Only if you realize here in nobody's life. See what is terrorized. Stop the guerrilla. World better keep it back, bro. Change your rate is smart, a greater cause. You know the stake is hot. Start down this here. Those who see my bad to die, he was passion by. Do not waste your time and hate it, fighting guys. Your mother AI, do justice to them. Now I'm taking the seat. All the whole moment to now break away. All the let me out. Can you let me out? Can you set me free from this that in the world safe? Need a last beat in the song.
Okay, this is absolute bop, and I will hear nothing else. Like, okay, like, first off, this song has several different versions of it with slightly different lyrics, but this is the original one. But like, like, when you hear it in battle, it's just, it's hard to put in words because I love this song so much. But
You're a simp for this song.
I am a simp for I am mega simping for this song. But like also, but you know, joke aside, I reach out to the truth, you know, like that is basically the theme of the game is, you know, search for the truth, reach out for the truth, that kind of thing. And you know, all the shadow people, you know, every time someone comes across their shadow, they're supposed to look at the truth, not look away from it. And it's just like it fits the game perfectly with the name, lyrics, and it's upbeat. And again, this is a battle theme first and foremost. So like as just a fighting theme, like it hits, it has an opening bit, then it has that riff later on by itself. And plus the drums. I mean, come on, the drums are what makes this song. It's the silent hero of this song. I love it. How about you?
I like it. It has like it has that very much of the 90s pop music during the time in like Japan and stuff, and even now. So, but it's still a really good strong song. It's still very much upbeat, even though that you're fighting. Like it doesn't matter. Like
It's a hype song.
so yeah, I think I don't know where it would fall in line to. Probably Absolute Bop. Probably will stay in there. That's a good one.
All right. If we didn't
Because
put an
I
absolute
didn't
bop, we'd be crucified. He would be like, "How dare you not put Reach Outside Truth in absolute bop?" Even though I think it's that level. Good song, good song, and also again, all the versions of it are also really good. Next up we have Specialist. Now, Specialist is this is for school lessons. Like when you're in the school, you're just sitting there, and the teacher's talking. Now, I almost didn't put it, but I was like, this is the meme song. First off, it's a bop of a song, but also it's a meme song because in Forward Dance and the main character dances to this song, and it's like it's a whole thing on TikTok and stuff where people like mimic his dance with the song in the background. It's just look up, you can find it in like 5 seconds. Just look up Persona 4 Specialist meme, and you'll immediately get it. Anyway. Okay, now Specialist at like regular Specialist is an okay song. The one I'm talking about is Specialist Reincarnation, which is like it's God tier. It I don't remember where Specialist Reincarnation came from. I think it's just from Persona 4 Dancing. I could be wrong. I'll have to look it up later. But like just regular Specialist, I think it's an okay song. You hear it relatively often because again, it's all when the teachers are talking and stuff. I think it's just okay. For me, it's kind of a bop. Now, if we're talking about Specialist Reincarnation, it's absolute bop, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about regular Specialist. Not much to say on my end. How about you?
It's a pretty standard song, especially. So, is this a song that you hear when you're just like walking around in a certain area?
No. So like whenever you're so in school, some days you're just like sitting in the class for like it is only like a minute long sometimes, and when the teachers are talking, this is during classroom stuff.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, then that's a bop. Yeah.
Bop.
It's
Alright.
it's not like one of those obnoxious like school songs that you hear in a lot of animes and stuff like that, or even games that are like school oriented. There's a lot of stuff going on with it that is like super super awesome. Love it. Um, it's very chilled out, but it still keeps you in the vibe of like, man, I can still get through the day. Still upbeat, which is really really cool. So yeah, it's probably in the bop category.
Alright. I've accepted this video is gonna be long, but I'm gonna play Persona 4 Reincarnation Specialist. This is actually from an album, so just this is the better version of Specialist. Play. See, so much better.
Oh, that's cool. Put that in the absolute bop.
Yeah, see, this version's absolute bop easily. But yeah, no, just regular Specialist, it's okay. Next up we have Striptease. Now you're like, why is there a song called Striptease? Well, let me tell you. So there's a dungeon, which is a strip club dungeon. So, yeah. Just picture in a strip club. I've never been to one, but Okay, now when I first heard this, I felt very uncomfortable. But then the more I listened to it, the more I liked it, and now I think the song's a bop. Honestly, like that middle bit when she's talking, it's a bit uncomfortable. But again, you get into fights
Yeah.
so often, you never really get to that part too terribly often. I don't know. I don't think it's that bad. And again, it fits a strip club pretty well. Again, I've never been to one, but I've seen plenty of movies. So, oh my god, I'm such a fucking nerd. But no, anyway. Yeah, no, I think it's an okay song. Uh, I like the beat. The beat's the best thing. It feels like you're in a dance club, you know? That's what this song feels like. It feels like I just walked into a club, ready to party, and this is the song that's playing. It wouldn't be out of place.
Yeah, it sounds good. It's a really good
Yeah.
club song. The drums are very driving.
Oh yeah. It's like all
Keeps
bass.
you engaged. It feels like I'm on ecstasy. So yeah, it's probably a bop.
Why would
But
you
like
know
the
what
thing
that's
is that,
like?
the theme. So the theme of songs should fit what you're trying to convey to the person. In this song, it's like yeah, you hit a tab of acid and now you're just vibing.
Yeah, right. You are on cloud nine. But yeah. So you think Bop?
Yes,
Okay.
probably in the mid tier bop.
All right. So now we have Heartbeat Heartbreak. Now this song plays in the when it's cloudy. Now before we had Your Affection when it's like sunny. This is when it's cloudy. Uh and this is now there's a deadline to save people from the TV, and basically when it rains, it makes fog. When the fog appears, someone dies in the TV world. So when it's cloudy, it's sort of like the impending doom sense. So that's kind of where it goes with almost. Play.
Tell me why you did it. Every dream falling apart. Tell me why you did it. After the promise, still aching. Oh baby, I need your love. Looking so different, gliding street light. Tell me why you did it. Every dream falling apart. Tell me why you did it. After the promise, still aching. Oh baby, I need your love. Looking so different, gliding street light.
So yeah, I think it's a very solid song, and to me, I think a good song is a song that actually makes you want to sing the lyrics, and this is one of them. So, and again, this is played in the overworld when it's cloudy. So you do hear a decent amount actually, and to me, it never gets repetitive. Um, and I think the lyrics are fine. It's so much better than the rapping from 3. Oh my gosh, I'll never let that go. Um, it's so bad in 3. But no, I think the song's a solid bop, possibly absolute bop, possibly. I would argue it, but
Here's,
I'm fine with
yeah,
that.
here's the thing that I've noticed recently is like there are a lot of more songs in this one that are just like instrumental. Like, there
Yes.
really isn't that much of vocals involved in this one, which can get really annoying.
Thing is, the songs with vocals pop up more than the songs without vocals, relatively. It's pretty split actually. Think.
It sounds good. I like it. I really do enjoy it. But oh man, it's very chill. It's a very chill song.
Yeah.
Not really much happens. I would probably put it into kind of a bop.
Really? Okay. I think absolute bop. So I'll meet in the middle and put it in bop tier.
That's fine.
We like to equal it out here on this channel.
We're gonna kind of equal it out. Definitely not a bop. Just
No, if this song is definitely not a bop, I'll delete my channel.
Yeah, it's a good
Yeah,
song.
it's solid.
There's a certain elements that I wish that they would add to make it
I hear
much
you.
better.
So next up we have Game. Now this is the the fourth dungeon theme. Now this fourth dungeon, its aesthetic is it's like an 8-bit, 16-bit style. Like that's what the area looks like. It's pretty cool. And also the character this is for, he's a very the Japanese would call him a neat, but in our translation, this dude's he kind of just like has no life, basically. He's your stereotypical in a way, like yeah, he's a weird kid. He's a weird kid. So it's hard. Look, if I show you, look, as a matter of fact, I'm gonna pause it and pull up a picture for him real fast. Yes, this is him. This is Mitsuo.
What the fuck?
Yeah, this is what he looks like. Look at those cold dead eyes, man. This is him in the anime. The anime.
That is definitely
Load
eyes
the
of a guy
picture. There we go.
not in incognito mode.
This is yeah.
Definitely-
Oh, also this is his shadow form. He turns into a baby.
Huh.
Yeah, the shadows all turn to different things. Like the first one turned to a bird. The second one turned into
Is it like symbolic of what they
Yes.
represent?
all the
Okay.
bosses when they transform, when all the shadows of people when they transform, it's symbolic. So he's just a child throwing a tantrum basically because he can't get his way. So that tangent off to the side. Let's get to the actual song. This reminds me of Dig Dug a lot. Yeah. And the drums. So yeah, I think this is a very solid song, honestly. Like, I do appreciate old school gaming soundtracks where it's not like a crazy amount of instruments added in. It goes from the classic style to just like here's the drums by the way, and it just goes off, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's not too much say. It sounds like you're a classic gaming soundtrack, but updated to modern time. Granted, this game came out in like '08 or something, but still. Very solid soundtrack. I think it's one of the better dungeon themes.
It's a good soundtrack for what the boss is.
Well, it's
what
for
the boss
the
represents.
well, this for the
Very-
this for the dungeon. Just like going through the
for
entire
the
dungeon. This is the dungeon theme. The boss theme's next.
it kind of so it's very upbeat and it's very goofy sounding. Like it's a very fun song to listen to.
Yeah.
Even when the drums kick in to add more elements to the song, it's still fun to listen to. So it's probably I would probably put into man, this is a difficult one. I would say absolute bop. but
Really?
that would be simping, so I would probably just put it at a bop.
You would go that far? Oh my! I'm kind of with you almost. And you know, if by the end of by the end of the video, Absolute Bops does have a lot of tracks, which I'd be shocked if we don't get a few more. Then I'll bump it up. But matter of fact, I'll put that there so I don't forget. Mind you, these tiers aren't in any particular order within them, but you know. Next up, we have Revelations Mitsuo. This is an 8-bit remix of another track. It's pretty cool. This is the boss theme. Right? Sounds like a Final Fantasy track almost. So yeah, this is just I'll Face Myself, but 8-bit style, and I love it. Cause like there's
I
there's
like it.
oh it's so good. Like there's so many little elements in the background of the whole track that you just pick up on because it's 8-bit. For me, I have a hard time picking up things in the very back of a song, the very background. With this one, I don't have that trouble. I think it's just solid.
Yeah, I get that. I get it. Yeah, and it's really hard for for musicians is to try to bring all of the elements to the forefront, especially when you turn it to 8-bit. It's really hard because like a lot of the main like sounds of certain percussions or certain guitar strings and stuff like that. Um, it's very hard to pick it up when it turns to 8-bit because it all kind of sounds like one tonal note. Um, which I mean, it again, it's really hard to do.
Yeah,
To make it very clear, like this is a different. But I mean, overall, it's a really good song. It's really solid. It keeps the same energy as the original. I would probably say a bop.
okay, okay. I think I'm with you on this. It's very solid. I don't think it's quite good enough to reach Absolute Bop. But fun fact, this song's actually from Persona 4 Golden. So they actually add this
Oh,
song in Golden. So I haven't played the original, but I assume the original he didn't have that theme. He probably had the regular boss battle theme. So it seems like to me they went out of their way to make this version of the song just for that fight, and I appreciate when devs go the extra mile for things they didn't really have to do. So
yeah.
yeah, I can appreciate the song as well. Now next we have Zone Time. Now again, I'm reading off the wiki to see where some of these songs are. 'Cause again, I kind of forget where some of them have been. This one's for suspenseful events. Ah, it's this one. This is a good one. So yeah, for a song that plays during suspenseful moments, I think it's perfect for it because
Oh yeah.
it has its highs and lows, and when the guitar like it starts out pretty good, then the guitar comes in, and then it's like okay, now this is a serious part apparently. But I think it's just a solid song. You hear it, you hear again. This is not one of those songs that you hear pretty often. At least when you get to the suspenseful moments, which is what this is for, this plays, and I think it really does get you like, oh crap! Like imagine like a horror movie, right? A chase scene. This would be a perfect chase music almost.
Oh yeah, it's really good. I like it. I like the arpeggios in the background that are going with the song. Um and it's like it's oh man, there's like so many cool things that are going on that like add to the song. It's almost like that song by Missy Elliott where it has like those arpeggios going up and down the scale. And I think you know the one I'm talking about. And it's so cool that it's doing that. It's doing it during the entire song, but it's like it's not annoying to
Yes.
the point to where it's like where it's like, yeah, I hate. Please make it stop. Like that, it's not like
Yeah, for me with songs that I know I'm gonna hear often, the biggest thing for me is it repetitive? Because it could be the greatest song ever, but if it's repetitive, I don't care. I don't like it. That's why like this is a good song, especially considering you hear it pretty often. Now where would I put it? Kind of a bop is where I'm leaning to. You think?
kind of about for this
You
song.
think higher maybe?
No, I think it's pretty. It's a pretty good, solid song, especially for what it is. Um, so yeah, I don't really contest with it.
Okay, okay. Now, next up, we have a New World Fool. Now, this plays during two boss battles. I'm not going to tell you what the boss battles are because you will play this game one day. It's on Steam. Yes, for those who don't know, go play this on Steam. But, yeah, this is for two important boss battles, I should say. Yeah, honestly, what I like about this song, right? Now, again, this is for two important boss battles. This plays them, but I like how it starts off energetic out the gate. It just builds and builds, and then it starts to lull a little bit, and the tempo slows down. And suddenly, the drums start going off, and then the like an orchestra practically just jumps in, and then it just goes into the next segment off that. It just builds and capitalizes on the build so well. I like it a decent amount, honestly.
Oh yeah, it's a good one. Um, Man, there's like a lot of these songs start to almost sound the same after a certain point in terms of like themes and stuff. But at least at least with these types of songs, it's always something a little bit different. Um, whether it's going to be like a techno like song for a strip tease, or like it's just going to be a straight up rock and roll type of song. Um, with this one, I would probably put it into a kind of a bop, um, because it's still it it almost like starts to sound a lot like the other songs, um, and being that we've listened to a good majority of them,
Yeah.
it's kind of hard to discern the difference from them.
All right. So I can't agree with that. I agree with that. I might argue bot, but I think kind of a bot's a fair place to put it. Now, next up we have the fog. Now, this is the theme for the final boss. This is the final boss theme right here. Wait, let me just quadruple check. Yes, it is in fact the final boss theme. Here we go. Okay, here's what I like about this song, right? It starts out sound like one of the other boss themes, and then it's like, then the guitar comes like, oh no no, this isn't just any boss theme. This is the final boss theme, and like, it gives me. If you've ever played Undertale, this reminds me a lot of Hopes and Dreams. Like, by a lot, it sounds like if Toby Fox came out and said like, oh yeah, Hopes and Dreams was inspired by this song, I wouldn't be surprised because I get that same vibe from it. And honestly, the guitar in the background is what really sets it off from the other songs in the track. Like, I'm glad you mentioned earlier that some of the songs start to sound the same, because like this song starts out just like that, but then it's like no, this is the boss. To me, it's absolute bop.
Absolute, yeah, I could kind of agree with it. Typically in situations like this where it's the last boss fight, especially the last boss fight, um, it needs to bring all of the emotions to a head. So it brought all of the good emotions of the
Yes.
sadness, the happiness, the aggressiveness, and then put it into one song, which is the final boss fight, and you get this song. It starts well. It has like a lot of the elements of the other songs, but that's because it's in like music.
It's the culmination.
Theory. Yeah, it's in a culmination. It's a conglomerate of all of these songs put into one. And for one last
Hurrah!
one last battle, you get to feel all of these sort of emotions you've been feeling from just playing the game.
Yeah, and then they just drop that guitar in the background, and it's like, and that's what really just steps it up for me. Such a good song. Next up we have this song. I'm gonna butcher it, but Traumaray, I believe is how you say it. Sad Events is what this is played for. Okay, so here's my thing with this song. So this plays during like all the sad events, or at least the vast majority. But what I like is how it starts out that piano melody, and it's just the piano melody, nothing else. But then like 20 seconds in, it drops the drums in the background, and the drums don't take over. They just set the pace and the tempo of the song, and it just goes off that. And then both the drums and the piano would fade out, and then you just got the synthetic bit for a little bit, and then it comes back to the piano. And I think it is repetitive, but not in a bad way. I think it also it conveys that sad emotion so well. Like, think back to Naruto, as you in the last video you mentioned Naruto. I'm gonna mention it. Like, it reminds me of that Naruto song with like the violin or whatever that just kicks in. It's the same thing with this with the piano. It just kicks in, and you're like, oh, this is sad. I like it. I wouldn't put it in like, to me it's like kind of a bop. I wouldn't put it high because it's more of it's supposed to just set the emotion rather than be like a song you just really enjoy. I think it does its job well. I like it.
Oh shoot, I had to yawn. But no, I agree. It's one of those types of songs where it's like a lo-fi song.
Yeah.
Which is like the best way I can describe it. And it's a very chilled out song. There's not really that much with it. Can you imagine if they added like a guitar riff over this? Like, it would be terrible.
Yeah, honestly, if they up the tempo and add a guitar riff, I think it could be a pretty good song.
Trash. No. I'm joking.
I know.
Man, yeah. I mean, so far, all of these songs have been in the higher, in the the higher tier. So
I assure you, Persona 5, they'll all be kind of a bop and above. I assure you. I play. But yeah, so where you think this sits? I'm thinking kind of a bop.
yeah, kind of a bop. Only because it's more of a lo-fi s type of
Yeah.
song where it's like kind of hear it in like your dentist's office. So it's
What kind of
not really
dentist do you
nothing
go to? Bruh.
a very up.
A very depressing dentist apparently. Uh but I think I get what you're saying. I like how now think about it. We've gotten through most of the dungeon themes, the final boss theme, the main theme, and now at last we get to how much the shop theme. All right, one sec. Sorry for the interruption, everybody. We are back. Anyway, back to this song. Now, compared to the one Persona 3, the Persona 3 shop music was a lot more slowed down. This one has a little more energy to it, which again kind of matches up with the games themselves. Um, I think it's not a bop. It's okay, It's not crazy. I'd almost put definitely not a bop. Like I don't think it's a trash song or anything. I don't feel anything towards it. Like I look at the
Yeah.
songs in these top 3 tiers, I'm like, this doesn't touch them. I'm thinking not about personally. How about you?
Ah man, yeah. Like after a while, they're like the songs start to kind of they don't like start to suck. It's just that the songs start to like be less. They start to be less engaging. So like because all the other songs are just a lot more up. They cause you to like be a little bit more engaging with the music and stuff. So it's yeah, it's really hard for me to like any of the other stuff um after listening to like the first half of the song list that we had.
Well,
So
I'm going in
yeah.
order on the soundtrack list itself and like how they come up in the game. So that's probably why, because they get all the main songs out of the way, and now we're getting to the lesser heard songs.
Yeah, that's
That could be
oh
part.
man, yeah, it's really cool. I like it. The songs that you've shown me are in my opinion a little bit better than the ones that we've listened to in the past. Um, that's just my opinion though. Yeah, like I actually like these songs this time. Not to say like the songs in the past were bad. It's
I was gonna say, Burn My Dread Last Battle, though. That was, spicy.
oh yeah.
So what are you thinking? What are you thinking?
Not a bop.
Alright. So we're in agreement. Alright, now we have the theme for the 5th dungeon. The Secret Lab. And the song for the Secret Base. I think this is personally one of the better dungeon themes. Not the best, one of the better. Okay, now I will say for the dungeon itself, okay, it's fine. I think Persona 4, some of the dungeon themes just do not fit the dungeon itself. But with this one compared to Castle and Sauna, I think this one just sounds good compared to them. Like it's not repetitive to me. I can actually listen to it for a decent amount of time before I'm tired of it. It's definitely not absolute bop by any stretch. For me, I'd put it kind of a bop, but you could top me up to bop if you wanted to. How you feel about it?
Yeah, compared to what was it, Sauna? That song, I think it was that song where they
Trash.
had the, the start. I think it was like that one had the start of like the it had like almost like a dance type of song, and then it goes into the fucking drums, and it's like yeah, it's really I think anything that is better than that song is probably a kind of a bop. Mm, so yeah.
I can get behind it. I can get behind it.
Um Yeah, this one is just it's a very soothing song, especially the breakdown section which goes into like the much more synthetic sound, which is like the and by the way, when me or Shadow Slayer says synthetic,
Shadow Slayer.
guys,
Shadow
we mean
Strike.
like oh, sorry, yeah, Shadow Strike,
You
sorry.
dare.
Right.
You
That was
dare.
the original name. But when Shadow Strike says something like synthetic, what he means is like made in like loops, which is a digital audio workstation that a lot of producers use. Yours truly use. And so when he means synthetic, is that it's like it's made from like a drum pad, um, instead of like an actual acoustic drum. So yeah,
Yeah.
I actually like that though. I actually like that it has it both acoustic sounds and it both has like this electronic music, which is really cool.
Yeah, and I think it actually does fit well because, it is a lab. And the whole bit with it is like without spoiling it, more of a like the big thing is like a transformation of sorts. Is the best way I can put it without going too spoilery. Now, we have Heaven. Now, I think this is the best dungeon theme. This is the sixth dungeon? Six? Yes. Dungeon 6, which is also called Heaven. So the theme of Heaven is heaven. There you go. I will say this song has a lot more meaning if you understand the dungeon more, but obviously you won't get that part. But it's good. It's good.
Hold on, pause it. I need to go to the bathroom.
Bruh, we are in the middle of the song.
Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away. Find your way through the favorite tune, plain all day, with my eyes closed. Those long days passing by from the door, like late summer days slowly fade away. Find your way through the favorite tune, filling me with those sounds. Close to hurt my soul, removing doubt from my mind.
Okay, so me knowing the meaning of that song makes me appreciate it all the more. But as a standalone, and again, this is the dungeon theme, so you hear this a lot, especially starting over. It's absolute bop for me, just because I like the lyrics. I like and again, it fits like. This is the close, like, okay. I think Persona 5's dungeon themes are better than most of the Persona 4 dungeon themes, and I think this one's like better than some Persona 5 ones. Like this to me is an absolute bop. Like it fits aesthetic. It fits the theme, fits the character. It fits. And it just sounds good
Yeah.
as well. Very
It
good.
has like this R&B feeling in the beginning, and it just gives you into that mood. And once it goes into the chorus, no, it goes into the verse. Sorry, it goes into the verse, and then it picks up, and it just keeps that it just keeps that same energy going. It's so awesome. So yeah, it's an absolute pop. The whole
Sick.
theme, the whole tempo, the whole shebang is just so awesome. I love it.
Yeah. Now we have Long Way. Now this is for Dungeon 7. Now Dungeon 7. It's a twisted version of Inaba, and remember Inaba is the town. So the dungeon is the stack is just a twisted version of the town you've been in the entire game. And so yeah. Stopped. That's weird. The song stopped. Whatever. So what were you gonna say?
I actually like that part where it goes dun 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 dun. I like that part.
Yeah. I like how it starts. And then it just keeps going, and I'm like, okay, this isn't too bad. But then the piano comes in, and then the piano just, it's like when you put the last piece in, it's like when you build a puzzle, right? You put that last piece in the center right in there, and it just fits. Like, oh, it just completes that song, and it just works so well. And also has that background like, like it just works so well. Like and mind you, this is the 7th dungeon. Fun fact, dungeons 8 and 9, you can actually finish the game and just skip those two. I wouldn't recommend it, of course, because you can't get the true ending with if you skip the other two, but like you can get like the regular ending just by finishing dungeon 7, essentially. So it does have also that sense of like we're at the end, boys, in a way. And it just fits. And also, I can also sort of get the twisted bit because again, this is just a topsy turvy version of the town you've been in the whole game up to this point. And I can also get that little bit of that vibe from it. I think it again. This is another one that just fits for me. I would put absolute.
Absolute. I think it would probably be kind of a bob.
Kind of a bob. Okay.
There are certain parts of it where it's like it kind of loses me, and then it brings it back with that certain guitar, that certain riff. I don't know if it's a guitar riff or it's like a synthesizer. Either way, it's a really cool riff. But yeah, that's though.
All right. Well, like I said before, we'll meet in the middle. We'll put it in bop. Now we have Corridor. Now this is an interesting song. So this is the okay in Persona 4 Vanilla. This is the 8th dungeon. In Persona 4 Golden, this is the 9th dungeon. So this is technically the last dungeon. In both games, this is the last dungeon theme, but it's also the theme for the bad ending. There's a couple of bad endings, but this is the song that plays in the bad ending as well as the last dungeon. So here's what I like about this song, right? So you know like you know those videos that are viral a few years back where like you'd hear a word, but if you're thinking of one word, you'd hear that word, but if you thought of a different word, you hear like a completely different thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is how the vibe this song's giving me. So like, if you look at it as like the bad ending song, if you're thinking about bad ending, you get that sad feeling. You get the incompleteness. Like this isn't right. This isn't over. But if you think of it from like this is the final dungeon thing, you're like, we're at the end. This is the final challenge. We're almost there. Like you, depending on what you're thinking of, it gives you two different feelings, and I think that's genius. I don't know how they did it, but they did it. And I love that. Now as a song in and of itself, though, I think it's just kind of a bop. But I think it for what it's meant to do, it does its job so well. I
It
don't-
is. I would probably say it's not. It's not a bop only because it's more of a score.
Yeah, I see it around like this area, more
Yeah,
like
like
this area.
it's just not like it's not like one of those. It's not like the bops or even kind of a bops. It's just more of like it's there. It's there to push you forward through the game, but it's not really much of a like the thing about these songs is that if I don't see myself being like turning it um on my phone when I'm like just like doing stuff with like making my album covers and stuff, then it's not a good song, you know. But
Yeah,
I mean, it's a good solid structured song. It's just not what I expect it to be.
I think if you put this in a compilation of study music, because some people do that with Persona songs, I think this works just well. But for me, it's just like as a song in and of itself, it's okay. But for like what it's meant to, for what it's where in the game it's at, I think it's great for it. So you think kind of a bop or not a bop?
Not a bop.
All right,
It's a good score.
I'll put it high, not a bop then. Now we have the Almighty. Now this plays for I don't know, the fake out final battle, the false final battle. In a way, that's why these next two songs they have the Almighty and the Genesis. Like the Genesis is the final boss. Because you know, with any JRPG, the final boss has several forms. This is like this is the final theme of the boss. The fog, that's for the boss itself. This is for the final stage of the boss. This is for the fake out final boss. Hope that makes sense. Okay, so I like this theme a good amount. Considering again, this is the fake final boss person that they want you to think is the final boss, but it really isn't the final boss. I think it's good. I don't think it's crazy good, but for a boss theme, I think there's better, but this is not by no means a bad song. I'd probably put it in bop tier. Not absolute bop though. It doesn't get this high, but I think bop tier is a fair place to put it. How about you?
Yeah, I mean, being oh man, it's man, it almost feels like like they got like I'm pretty sure they did. They probably got some like local guitarists to like do these guitar riffs for them and stuff. And there's like one part of the song where it's like it doesn't sound like it should work, but then it does when it goes into the verse. But it's like, wow. So I would probably put into a bop if I would have to say.
All right, all right. Oh, for the first time, we've gotten 2 levels of the same tier. We've never gotten this many in one tier before. All right, now we have the Genesis. This is the theme for the final form of the final boss. All right. This is an 8-minute song, by the way. For a final boss theme, that's
a final boss theme.
This is the final form. What'd you say?
That is an absolute bot.
This is the final form of the final boss.
Yeah.
This isn't just the final boss thing. This is when the boss like takes off the gloves.
So-
all right.
So yeah. So like, and here's why, because I already know that a lot of people are gonna be like, wait, why did you give this one an absolute bot, but like not of the other ones? So in terms of scores, what you're looking for is the theme of the score to really like grasp you into what the score is trying to tell you. So in this case, the score is it has these orchestral war drums playing in the background to signify like the finality of this fight. And of course they have the strings playing, and then they have the horns playing like these one notes every few seconds, and it's like you can feel the intensity when it's like you could there's like the breakdown section, but then it picks back up basically saying like you're not getting away from this so easily. And it's such a cool little thing that they do. I don't know how to like really best describe it, but with this score, especially for a final boss fight, for the final form of a final boss, it just boggles my mind that is like it's that powerful of a score. So yeah, it's an absolute
Awesome. Now we have Nevermore. Now this is the theme for the normal and true ending. I already know you're not gonna like it. It has Japanese vocals, but this is the credit song if you don't do something stupid and get the bad ending.
無慈悲な言葉だけがでたらめに街に溢れてるではもう切なく流れてた声何気ない日常がさよならみんなと過
Okay, now I like this song. One, because I'm a weeb. Alright, now listen. I don't actually mind songs that have Japanese vocals. That's a me thing though. I know that's not really your thing. But
I don't care. I mean, the thing about me is that just because that there's a language barrier doesn't mean that it's not a good song. It's just
oh
that
yeah.
I just don't speak the. I don't.
There's English like lyrics to it if you want me to send them to you. But like yeah, I think like I like the clapping in the background. Like it definitely this sounds and fits so well as a final like, credit roll theme, you know. Like you're sitting there like I beat the final boss. Everybody's doing their own thing now. The story is concluded and this song's playing like it fits well. Is it as good as was it Memories of You from Persona 3? I don't know, but it fits very well. I think they're both pretty similar. I would put Absolute Bop only because I just love it, but like again, that's just me.
It's a bop. Oh
Bop?
man, but is
Alright.
it an absolute? That's a difficult one.
I like
It's up to you, my man, and it's up to you. So where you want to place it in the tier,
well,
like in
remember,
terms of the world.
alright, well remember in the last video we do, it's gonna be the top it's gonna be all the Absolute Bops put together from the 3 videos. So it's like if you're not feeling Absolute Bop, I won't put something in the Absolute Bop tier because then it's like it's gonna rank low automatically. But I can't agree with Bop though. I think it's close between, but I think Bop's fine by me. All right, now we get to the Persona 4 Golden songs. Now, first up we have Shadow World. Now this is a favorite of mine because this is the intro song. This like before we had what was it? One of these was well whatever. One of these was the first one. What was the first? Yeah, whatever. This is the golden intro song, and this is good.
Truth is elusive, it's nowhere to be found. Yeah, that truth can never be written. That it's not in any magazine you can see it on your TV screen. Truth that defines your world, gives you truth and life. What that excels, special enough to guide your way through this shadow world. I tried to imagine what it'd be like without. What that defines your world, gives you truth and life. What that excels, special enough to guide your way through this shadow world. Truth and love. Who really cares? And knows we can only share our truth through one that defines your world, gives you truth and life. One that excels, special enough to guide your way through this shadow world.
I wonder what this song is for.
Now look, the reason why I played the whole song instead of part of it is because the whole song is different. Like it's an actual song, not just like a theme for a game.
Or
Like
yeah.
now the original song for the intro itself is in like a minute and a half. Like when it does a little when it gets to the low end of the piano, it usually ends at that point, but it keeps going in the full song. I mean, for me, it's an absolute bop. I just like
Yeah.
yeah,
It's one of those songs where it's like, oh man, but for that you could put that song on loop and I would not get tired of it. That's the
exactly.
type of
Such a good song. I like how cause see, it has the upbeat cheeriness that this game kind of has, but also it does get that serious part to be like, yeah, no, this is still like a murder investigation. Keep in mind, so it fits the game.
happiness. Oh man, I can't imagine Sherlock Holmes listening to a song like this
That'd
and
be
he's trying
awesome.
to like find the murderer. Like
Yeah,
oh heck.
so not bad. I like it. Now we have
It's a
time to
good
make
one.
history. Time to make history is the regular battle theme. That like if you just attack an enemy and don't sneak up on them, which is what's gonna happen most of the time, because 4 has trash dungeon crawling. Um, love 4 trash dungeon crawling. You're gonna hear this song more than "Reach Out to the Truth." Very good song though.
Ooh.
It's a war out there every day. You can't hide from me. You gotta pray for the rules, but you cool, gotta laugh in the face of this out is free. When your friends and boss look on like on the party bad times, they just have the luck goes by. I know it's not your fault to say, but there ain't no other way. So step on up to the plate. Need your faith, what can spread on into the light of earth. Step on up to the plate. 'Cause this ain't no game. It's time to make history, yeah. It's a war out there.
So yeah, this is the regular battle theme, and I like it. It's not that repetitive, honestly. I don't think it's as good as "Reach Out to the Truth," but I think um, it's either high, it's somewhere between bop and absolute bop. Like, where are you thinking about putting it? 'Cause I think it's good, and it definitely has the upbeatness that I want a regular battle theme to have.
Oh, did you say a bop?
I'd say bop or absolute bop. It's kind of depending on where
Um
you want to put it.
I'll put it in the higher tier bop,
Higher tier bop, okay.
like literally in the front.
All right. No comments at all. Or-
Um, no, I mean it's a good song. The structure is nice. I like the feels that they added, which almost made it like it almost sounded like it was gonna be turned into like an electronic song.
Yeah, I can see that.
Not really much to say. I mean, it's just a really because like with good songs, there's not that much to like talk about. But when songs are like pretty good, but there's like a lot of elements that they miss. There's a lot of stuff to say. Um, but no, with this song, I had a blast listening to it.
Nice.
I didn't feel like I was like none of the stuff was like overtaking any of the other elements. The bass wasn't, the guitars, the singing. So yeah, it's a really good track.
Cool. So now we have "A Sky Full of Stars." Now this song plays at night, basically. Um. Oh, there it is. Basically, you can go out at nighttime. This is what plays during it. Now this is weird. Now I'm confused. I haven't played the original Persona for Vanilla. I'm like, what song plays at nighttime in that game? Because this is the night song. So, but this is in Golden only. So what? I don't know. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, this is what's playing at nighttime. I think this sounds like a night theme. It's not hyper upbeat to where it's like, oh yeah, no, like you're not going to fight a war or something. You just walk around town at night.
Bro.
Like it
Bro,
fits.
imagine the people on the forefront of Afghanistan listening to this song while fighting,
Now see,
bro. Oh,
yeah, no,
that'd
it
be
wouldn't
funny.
work for that. But I think for a nighttime theme, it's not bad at all. It's not my favorite track in the game actually. It's not that high. I would put it kind of a bop tier personally. Like, because again, when you go out at night pretty much every single day, just about, so you hear this song quite a bit. And I like the opening of it. I don't really know what instrument that is. I don't even know if it's synthetic or not. Like the very beginning, but like either way, I think it sounds fine. It definitely
Yeah,
sounds
it's
like
not fine.
a
It's
night
just a,
song.
it's just a chill song. Nothing really too special, but nothing really like too boring. It's still a good song. It's just too like you can put it in like mid. It's a good track.
Okay, kind of
But
bop. All right.
it's up.
All right. Now we have Snowflakes. Two more, guys. Two more. We're almost done. This video is 2 hours long. Now Snowflakes plays in the wintertime when it's snowing in Idaba. Uh, yeah.
But in our memories it stays. This is where we're safe and well. And the wind, it feels a little colder now. Heat comes running like a spell. But left us out there. This is where we saw it through. Thinking then this friendship it was built to last. He whispered away the truth to us that were forged in our past. A cold wind blows away the laughter from this treasure place. But in our memories it stays. This is where we're safe and well. And the wind, it feels a little colder now. Heat comes running like a spell. But left us out there. This is where we saw it through. Thinking then this friendship it was built to last. He whispered away the truth to us that were forged in our past.
Okay, so I like this song because again, this plays at the end of the game because the last season you're really playing is winter. Because the main character, he comes to Inaba for a whole year and he leaves in the spring. So this is leading up to spring because it's the winter. And now it's like this is where we say farewell. This is where we saw it through because they saw through the case to the end, ups and downs and all. They're saying goodbye to basically their leader because the main character is the leader of the group because he's gonna be leaving soon. And also it does kind of I kind of get Christmas vibes from it a little bit, a wee bit, the Christmas vibes. And again, this is the overworld theme during like the last bit of the game. I don't know. I think it's. I mean, it's top 2 tiers easily. I don't know which one though.
It's to me it's not a bop. only because it's
Alright.
not. It's like it's a very calming song, but it's like not really much of a song where it's like very like impactful in like emotions. Um, I feel like it's just a not a bop.
All right.
It's not like a absolutely not a bop, but it's not a bop.
All right. I'll put it kind of a bop since I'm up here, you're down here. All right. One last song. Wait, what?
No, you're good.
All right. So one last song. We have Memory. Now, Memory is the song of the Golden exclusive palace or dungeon. It's called, so the dungeon's called the Hollow Forest, by the way. It makes more sense if you know the character it's around, but I'm not looking to spoil. Because unlike Persona 3 FES, this is a this is a game you could actually end up playing. That's on Steam. So I wouldn't want to spoil this for you or anybody else that may be watching. But yeah. So yeah, considering this is the exclusive to Golden Palace or Dungeon theme, I keep saying Palace. I played too much Persona 5. But no, the exclusive Dungeon theme, and it's a forest. It's a mysterious forest. It's also a hollow forest, and I think it just like it's hard to put in the words. It's just I think it just matches up with this where you're at when it's playing. And it's an okay song. I'd put probably bop or kind of bop. Definitely not bad. I do like the middle portion.
Yeah, it's kind of a bop. I'm not gonna lie.
Where'd it go?
Uh-oh.
I lost it.
Did you put it at definitely not a bop?
Yeah, it dropped down. My mistake. Ooh, it is not that bad. No. It's a solid song. But yeah, no. So you think kind of a bop?
It is kind of a bop. I'm not gonna lie. That one's kind of a bop.
So, wow. So that is the whole list. Now I want to point out what?
That is a lot of songs, mostly in bops. We could probably move it around a bit, but
yeah, we move this up. Yeah. No.
Yeah, I would say you can move some of the songs up or down depending on how you feel.
I'm pretty okay with all the rankings we did, personally.
I can already see some of the comments being like, Slayer, you suck. You don't even understand the impact of this song. Like, dude, we're just
Shadow.
two guys just shooting. Like,
It's Shadow,
we're
not
just
Slayer.
Shit about music. Like, come on.
Yeah, I mean, music's just completely like up to everyone's interpretation. Like, everybody likes different music.
It's completely subjective.
That's
so
why there's
don't
different
go after
genres.
me. Yeah, don't go after me and Straw Hat too much.
It's Shadow Strike, for God's sakes! It's Shadow
Why?
Strike.
I'm sorry. I just see your
Straw Hat
Discord
Slayer.
name.
No, that is my Discord name. I need to change it. It is Shadow Strike. Just refer to me as Shadow. You know, I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna go change it right now. I'll
Just
do it
go
later.
into your settings.
Okay.
Your settings, go to my
Gosh,
account and then change it that way.
I'll do it in a minute. Okay. So, yeah. But yeah, no, it's like, we're just having some fun ranking stuff. I will say though, this game's overall soundtrack is better than Persona 3's overall soundtrack. Now, when it comes to the absolute bops compared, that's for another video. But like, you can just tell this list is more top heavy comparatively. Like, it was more even across the board for 3. This one has a lot more like up here.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, no,
Except for that one song that is
this
absolutely-
song, it's Booty Butt Cheeks.
Yeah, it's just.
I'd put Castle here, but we agreed on this. But like, yeah, no, it's like not. But first off, neither game between 3 and 4 has a track other than like 1 or 2 that I really just don't like. I think it tells you a lot about the quality of the soundtracks of these games. And again, one of the things I appreciate the most, and we've pointed this out in both videos at this point, is like how some major songs for big moments call back to other songs slightly. And it's not to point out it's like a remix, but it's like they have callbacks and like little melodies in the middle or something. I love that about these soundtracks, and it's so good. But let me tell you though, we only go up from here. I'm telling you, man, 4 has the best songs. Like, mind you, the first video had 36 songs. This has 38. The next one's gonna have 44. So if the timestamp of this the length of this video is anything to go off of, the next one's gonna be like 2.5 hours, probably. I don't know. But yeah, no. Any overall thoughts about this game's tracks?
So far they've actually increased in terms of their themes and in terms of their production value, which is a really big bonus for me. I'm actually kind of excited to see what 4 has in store.
5.
This is like okay.
This is 4.
Okay, so yeah, so 4. So last one was 3. This is 4. The contrast from 3 is very, very big.
Like 2 different,
there's a lot
completely
more
different
songs.
tones.
Yeah, the songs that the songs that we chose for Not a Bop, for like Not a Bop, are just mostly just score songs, but everything else is like soundtracks. And so yeah, I'm pretty happy about what they've done.
Yeah. So I know last time I said that the next video is gonna be in like 2 days, and then it took 2 weeks. Sorry about that. Now that I have 5, like the whole list is ready to go, it'll be out in like 2 days, maybe. We'll see.
Fine.
But yeah. Well, I guess you kind of already did give your final thoughts. But be on the lookout for the Persona 5 music list. And if you haven't seen the Persona 3 one, please go back and watch that. Again, it helps you understand the format a little bit better. And do not forget that all the songs in Absolute Bot will be compared to all the other songs in Absolute Bot from the other 2 videos. And that we will crown one song above them all. I already know what mine might be, but we'll have to see. I'd like to thank you all for watching. Please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. I'm on my knees begging you, please. I want this to work. I'll have a link to the Persona 3 video in the description, as well as Mr. KMK's channel. Thank you for being on, as always.
Awesome. Thank you for having me.
Of course. And without further ado, we will see you all in the next one. Peace.